Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Untitled Sickos Project, where, man, it gets cold up here in Boston, but it doesn't get cold down in Miami. Yet they're all on the AFC East. Quite interesting when you ponder it. I'm Bears fan alongside four of my lovely co-hosts.
Hello, I am the MaskedAura, and good vibes are only here because Eniel Suarez is here and watches the Mariners play 500 ball for the rest of the.
Well, I guess I gotta represent this part of the AFC East. I'm Carsausage, and I'm gonna be playing the part of the Buffalo Bills fan.
Hello, I am Nickman, and I don't know what I would represent with the AFC East. I really don't know. Technically, I
You
have family
represent.
from Maine, but I don't really see myself as someone wanting to be associated with Boston. But that's just me.
Psst, Noah.
Yo, sorry, I think I got distracted. Hi, I'm back for another round of football predictions that may or may not be completely wrong.
Insane. But yes, as you can tell, we're the four spirits of the AFC East. The Jets, Miami, the Bills, and the racist one. But
Thankfully,
yeah,
our special
Boston.
guest is not here tonight.
Yeah. Unfortunately, thank God we don't have a Patriots fan here. You know. But before that, but obviously, Noah released a video today of talking about the Twins and the Twins fire sale, and that's what we were gonna do for our welcome. That's what I wanted to talk about welcoming Matt Wise today. But then another thing happened, and then I realized we can kind of just dig a little further and just talk about general owner incompetence. Guys, which is worst? Trading your entire team or getting rid of your best player?
I would say trading your entire team.
Yeah, trading your entire team.
I'd say trading your team because, like, in the Twins' case, like, this is not just them, like, going through a rebuild. This is a franchise that is basically, it's a franchise that's being run like they're trying to avoid bankruptcy.
Yeah, I mean the
Yeah.
thing about the baseball is just internal biggest problem and something that echoed here over and over again. It is bad and ownership. Let's see, always be the denominator with the fire sale. Bad and I gotta feel pour one out for Twins fans because I mean this is not a surprise either. This is just baseball's biggest problem in general. You have the small market teams crying poor every single year because they're not making enough money because they're not doing enough to bring the fans in. Like, you know how cheap Twins tickets are? For like, isn't it like for like a student if you bring like your student card, tickets are like $3. And
You want to know the? Sorry, I was just gonna say. You want to know the funniest part? It's not like the Tigers went on an astronaut. It's not like the Twins didn't have a chance. The Tigers went on one of the worst stretches of baseball in a while. And they decided that instead of trying to make a push, they got rid of almost half their roster. Crying poor.
I will say
But
it is kind of funny, though. It is kind of funny that despite the Tigers going on that run, they're still 9 games ahead of second place in the AL Central, ahead of the Guardians, who are also going through a shit show right now.
they sold
But you know,
and two of their players would be investigated for sports gambling.
yep.
Stop gambling.
Just why you're gonna make billions.
But
Let's go gambling.
True. But I'll give the Twins the benefit of the doubt. At least you're a small market city that can reasonably cry poor, even though you're not really poor. What if you have the money, but you simply put just aren't smart enough to accept your players' demands? Guys, what in the fuck is Jerry Jones doing in his heyday? Why does he think he can still Jerry Jones? Fuck. Why the fuck does Jerry Jones think he can just run this shit whenever the hell he wants? How does he think that's a good idea?
It's been a bad idea for like.
Yeah, and by the way, that was not me correcting you. That was me saying the answer. Jerry Jones.
It's Jerry Jones. Like we all know what Jerry. more self-absorbed about his brand. I mean, you still piggybacks off of they were in the Johnson
90s.
90s. Y'all remember the 90s? I'm
Oh.
Jerry Jones, and I remember the 90s so well. I remember it so well. We won 3 Super Bowls. We won 3 of them, you know?
I took a risk taking a rookie coach in Jimmy Jansen, and we won Super Bowls.
Yeah, we won Super Bowl. Oh God, that's just Kermit.
That's
Fuck.
just Kermit the Frog.
Yeah,
dude.
That's Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, nah, fuck. If we ever need a Mahomes accent, I got that. But yeah, Jerry Jones is a fucking dumbass.
He's always been this.
Which I don't get how you can reasonably tell your fans to not be pissed about not getting Micah Parsons signed, because you want to know what Micah Parsons has wanted during the entirety of this? For the team to talk to his agent. Like,
Look, you don't get it, man. You Micah could get hit by a car.
Micah could get hit by a car. He could walk out in the sun and get sun poisoning. Want to know something? Guys, I'm gonna walk outside right now and watch out. I might get hit by a car. Everyone. I just want to say, don't ever leave your house. You'll get hit by a car. Clearly.
Yeah, why do you think I never set foot outside to begin with? But like, for real though, I'm gonna be honest with this is all a ploy done by one Jerry Jones for his whole shtick that he does. Because he did the same shit with Ezekiel Elliott, he did the same shit with Dak Prescott. It's gonna drum up a bunch of headlines, and then when it comes to just before the season's underway, like he had the contract ready to go, that he has the contract ready that he was probably gonna sign for one for you know who I mean. He has the contract's already on the table. He's just playing this up for drama because people need to pay attention to the Cowboys, and this is what he does.
I still wish we could have gotten Dion coaching the Cowboys.
No.
The fact that it got close.
Listen, could you imagine Dion in this situation? It would be listen, actually, to be fair, considering the theory about Jerry Jones doing this just to get media attention, which is very possible and probably the case, if Dion was here, it would literally be the biggest. It would literally, I mean, it's the biggest story in the NFL. It would be getting talked about even more because you just add more fuel to the fire on why this story would get so much attention. And at the end of the day, that's what Jerry Jones wants. He only cares about the brand. The brand in question is the Dallas Cowboys, because they're not going to be winning a Super Bowl anytime soon. But you know what they're going to keep doing? Making him money, making the NFL money, and gaining a shit ton of views, because that's what the Cowboys do.
It's such an...
The Cowboys are the supreme of fucking teams.
I bet you the contract's already there. He knows how the money he wants. They've already agreed to it, but he's like, hey, we gotta drum this up for drama. People need to pay attention to whatever it is we do on a week in, week out basis. Yeah.
And I love CD's comments on it, like CD Lamb's comments on the whole situation, where it feels like you can just tell that this is Jerry Jones's bullshit, and everyone including Cowboys players are fucking sick of it.
However, let's go to a slightly more positive news to finish off this welcome mat. Nick is actually upgraded. We've moved him out of the basement, guys, and you will know where we moved him to. A damp shed. But people might be asking, how did we get that money? Where did it come from? Well, here's a little secret, guys. I bet all of Nick's Jersey Mike's points on a Trey Lance parlay last night, and Trey Lance people, we have never been more back than anything. And congratulations, Nick will now be editing in a damp shack. By the way, you may ask, what happens if it's dry? It's still damp inside, the heat will seep in, there's no air conditioning, and you can't even add air conditioning.
There's no.
So,
No,
Congrats to Trey Lance, but don't ask him who he picked last night.
Yeah, he picked for Pick'em's. Spoiler alert. He picked a team that's called. God, shit.
Nick, you should be happy. You're living in a damp shed now instead of the basement.
I am happy. I also get to be honest.
I thought you were. I honestly thought you were still at the Devontae Adams Taco Bell house.
No,
I still own that place. No, I still own it.
Well, yeah, but the whole thing with San Diego and everything, the day, fucking that one night in San Francisco at Twin Peaks, it was rough. It was rough for Nick.
And we're moving on, anyways.
Anyway.
But yes, time to start with the division previews.
Anal ways.
First up, cause I'm saying so, we have the Buffalo Bills. So, starting off with some notable additions / retains. Believe it or not, guys, the hottest offseason of Josh Allen's career. He actually re-signed with the team. Believe it or not, I didn't know if you guys knew.
I did not know that. But
up next
did you know that Jimmy Graham played basketball in college?
Holy shit, he played basketball.
Yeah. Up next, we have cornerback Christian Benford. They also re-signed safety Damar Hamlin. Coming from the New York Jets, we have dog pisser Elijah Moore. They re-signed linebacker Terrell Bernard. Re-signed edge Gregory Rousseau from the Chargers. Wide receiver Josh Palmer. Edge Michael Hoecht. They re-signed wide receiver Khalil Shakir. Steelers defensive line Larry Ogunjobi. From Wash University, Joey Bosa. Cornerback Tre'Davious White is going back there. Long snapper Reed Ferguson got re-signed. Ty Johnson, running back, and Alec Anderson. Going to draft picks. From the first round, cornerback Maxwell Harrison from Bordeaux University, aka Kentucky. Round 2, defensive tackle TJ Sanders from Gamecock University, also known as South Carolina. Or as Nick would say, holy shit, Cox! Round 3, edge Landon Jackson from Arkansas. Man, does that guy have a look on him. He has a real distinct look. Round 4, defensive tackle Deontay Walker from Kentucky. And for your grab bags, round 5, cornerback Jordan Hancock from Ohio State. Round 5, tight end Jackson Haynes from Georgia Tech. Round 6, Dorian Strong from Virginia Tech. Round 6, offensive tackle Chase Lunt from UConn. And then in round 7, wide receiver Caden Prathers from Maryland. And to finish off with some notable leaves, Rasul Douglas is gone. Mac Hollins goes to the Patriots. Amari Cooper is old. Sam Martin goes elsewhere. Dwayne Smoot goes to Jacksonville. Austin Johnson, don't remember. Cornerback Khalil Elaine got traded to the Cowboys. God rest his soul. And Edge Von Miller took him and his 2015 highlight tape to Washington. Now,
why are you bouncing
nothing
like
they
that, dude?
Sorry, I went to the bathroom, then I went.
Now I'm just gonna say this now.
Like, yeah.
I just had.
Well, I'm just gonna say this now. Nothing that the Bills fucking did mattered. All that mattered was Josh Allen is still on this team. That's all that matters anymore.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see like what they're realistically gonna be going into this
Uh,
year. Uh, not to say
you want to know what their plan is, Luke? I have it right for you. It's find a way to beat Mahomes, and there's just a blank box right under it.
yeah. I mean, one of the things that is kind of just like it's kind of it's the Bills. That same song and dance as is every single year. Did you beat Mahomes in the playoffs? No. Well, try again next year. And that's just that's the weird story. Like, here's the thing: like they've done a lot of additions that I would consider good additions. The fact that they're able to still the receiver very fresh year in year is like them being really contributing. Going to a balanced attack has been good, but it's just the problem is are you more clutch than the Kansas City Chiefs?
Hey there,
Answer.
Josh Allen. It's wonderful to meet you. I'm going to kick your ass in the playoffs.
And it feels like every single one
Wow,
of
we
them.
had the real Patrick Mahomes there.
Yes, I am.
Crazy.
Hello, I am Patrick Mahomes. You know, Josh
Start
Allen,
think-
he's a heck of a player, man. I love him when he's on the field, man. But whenever I'm playing against him, I just want to fucking kill this guy. He has Haley Steinfeld, and he won MVP last year. He has everything going for him right now. So I think he needs to stop being such a whiny
Like how it's just
little baby.
like how it's just slowly dying.
I'm surprised you didn't give him the old start digging in your butt, twin.
Start digging in your butt, twin. But you know, I mean, the devil magic has taken a toll on me. I haven't really slept well in weeks, months, ever since that Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean the thing about the Bills, I really do like the Bills. I think the Bills are going to be an incredibly fun team to watch. This season, I think they're going to be fun to watch, but it's really hard to try to go into deep with them because it's nothing's really changed.
I will say this about the Bills
you said
real quick.
hard, and then you said deep.
God, fuck, stop!
I will say this: the Bills have a player on their roster named Keaton Bills. The Bills literally have Bills on their roster. They have to beat Mahomes.
Will they? That is the $1,000,000 question here. With the Buffalo Bills, every single season tend to get past the Chiefs, and every single time, the answer has been no. They can beat them in the regular season. They literally beat
Well,
them
hang on a
in the
second.
regular season every time. But the postseason, this doesn't work.
Well, hang on a second. That's not true that, it's always the Chiefs that gets them. Sometimes it's the Bengals.
True.
That is true.
The funniest thing is, there's nothing to talk about the Bills because you can't really talk about them until the regular season starts. I mean, not the regular season, until the regular season ends. Barring a,
To be fair, I actually do have things to say about the Bills. I actually got things to talk about with them. Because I've been looking into this team because it's like, at the end of the day, the goal is get past everyone in the AFC, particularly get past the Chiefs, and make a Super Bowl and go and win a Super Bowl. Obviously with Josh Allen's tenure, obviously the first goal is to make the damn Super Bowl because that hasn't happened yet. Then you can worry about, well, can we eradicate the failure of, losing 4 straight Super Bowls? That will be the discussion after that, but first they have to make it. Looking at the Bills as like a roster as a whole, this is a great Bills team. They should be very fun to watch, like they usually are. But I just think about what can the Bills do to improve to make sure they have the team that can finally get past Mahomes? And looking at their current roster, there is a lot of question marks still with the Bills. Like, I mean, on offense, there's really not many. I'm pretty sure that the whole James Cook situation, I'm pretty sure that's gotten resolved, right? Like, Cook's
Yeah.
gonna be okay, that's gotten resolved.
I,
Wide
I
receivers, sorry, wide receivers wise, like Coleman had Coleman had he had a nice rookie season. I'm sure you would like to see more from him, but he had a decent rookie season. Shakir's fine for what he is. But, like, offense, there's really not many questions I really have for Buffalo outside of, like, maybe they could use maybe a little more in the weapons department, but that's not really the big concern I have. Josh Allen has shown he can make a whole lot of stuff work, so I'm not concerned about their offense. Their offense will be great as long as Josh Allen's there. I still have a lot of questions about their defense, though, because um, I know that last season I had a lot of doubts about their defense because, oh, they made a lot of moves and it's like it felt like they were losing a lot of talent, but it worked out for them, and I think a big reason why is that a lot of the guys they got rid of were injured, guys that just couldn't stay healthy or just weren't going to make a big enough impact for the Bills. The problem that I have with this current Bills defense is that a lot of the guys that are set to be on this Bills defense are currently injured or they have injury problems. And looking at that, it makes me have some concern about this defense again because it feels different from last offseason where you got rid of a lot of those guys, but now it feels like you're so far in that you aren't going to be able to get rid of these guys because these are your starters and a lot of them are hurt.
Yeah, the issue with the Bills has always been like injuries on both sides of the ball. Like legitimately. Also, I did want to say real quick, you are a little bit higher on the Bills' offense. I still don't think Khalil Shakir is should be a number one
He's
on
not a
this
number
team.
one. He's a number two. Here's the thing. Here's the thing because, and I'm going to get to this point when I talk about their draft. I'm going to get to this point because Shakir is not a wide receiver one. If anything, I think the Bills are really hoping that Coleman can become a wide receiver one. Because Shakir is basically just a wide receiver two. But offense is not this team's problem, and it wasn't their problem last season. It's the defense.
Yeah, that's just it all comes down. It all comes down to health and safety, and I get this sounds pretty dumb, but like legitimately, if I'm the Bills, I wouldn't even put out my second stringers. Just put out my backups and everything. There's no reason for me to go out there and risk even my backups getting hurt. And that's kind of where the Bills kind of got last year, is that they had one or two starters hurt, which was fine and everything, but then their entire fucking backup core on the defense got fucking gutted. So, yeah.
Where, I guess, honest, thing starting like I'd see them like if you really, and I mean honestly, needed to see them for drive, then that's fine, right? If you need to see them for a drive, go for it. Right? Let's see how they go for a drive. If they can't, then see what you need. Then, if not, I mean, do they have any like training camp practices with other teams? Just them.
Bears.
Bears. There you go. There you go. But you don't need to see the starters out for all pre. You're gonna see everything you need to see behind closed doors. That's how it usually goes in the season. That's how it should go for the Bills. I mean, I want to see the Bills do something like beat the Chiefs, as as much as like it needs to. The question for them that I have: when do you guys want it to be your time? Because like waiting, I want you guys to do well, right?
No, the thing is, they should be making it to the Super Bowl every year. But Mahomes is just a different person in the playoffs. And I will say this until I probably do it. Mahomes' time is coming. And my biggest thing about the Bills is they're not going to be the team to do it when Mahomes loses that spot. Because you want to know something? There are the AFC, like they are a very much top-heavy team where the good teams, they're good, but then the bad teams, they're kind of bad. And if you need an example, just look at the AFC South and look at the AFC West in comparison. When the teams are good, they're good, but when they're bad, they're bad.
Like there are great teams, and like the AFC has the great teams, but they also have the really shitty teams. It's just the thing with the Bills is like, when is that time going to come? When is it going to be their time? Because it's like, well, someone's gonna take the place one day of the Chiefs. It might not be the Bills. Like I know they've always beat them in the playoffs, but a team like Baltimore wants it more. What if the Bengals rediscover what a defense is? All that kind of stuff. It's like, it is not a guarantee that the Bills would be the team to finally dethrone Mahomes in the AFC, or well, granted, be the third team to do it behind New England and Cincy. But like, it's just going back to my point about the Bills' defense. It's like, you get someone like Joey Bosa who still has talent, but he's been rampaged by injuries, and it's like, oh, you know what? Maybe this could work well. A change of scenery can do a lot for someone. And he's immediately hurt. Okay, that's great. That's lovely. That's exactly what you love to see. Someone like Matt Milano's been, he's been a big name for the Bills defense, but he's been hurt for the past 2 seasons, and that linebacker core for Buffalo is really not good. Someone like Ed Oliver is pretty good, but he's also coming off an injury, and it's like, like really the only guy that's consistently played well for Buffalo and managed to stay healthy under defense has been Greg Russo and going to the secondary, Christian Benford. Like, like really, it just feels like the Bills defense has so many question marks. And I mean, I'm just going to be completely honest. If the Bills want to win a Super Bowl, they need to have a 2024 Eagles draft class. Like, they need that kind of draft class to happen if they want to win the Super Bowl, if they want to get by Mahomes. Because I'm telling you right now, a lot of the guys they drafted are going to have to play major roles in this defense, especially looking at what they have at the moment without these rookies taking over. Like guys like TJ Sanders, Landon Jackson, Deion Walker, like all these guys are going to have to play major roles. I would say Maxwell Harrison, but he's also hurt, so I can't even say his name either.
I will say this though. I think this season the Bills are definitely going to try to go all in terms of like building up. I think more than anything, they need to get like a wake up call to be like, we gotta spend money to make money. We have to get the guy. We have to trade for someone who will be that person. Because you want to know what they did last year? I mean, granted they got Amari Cooper, but like that they didn't really like break the bank for the next guy. They need that next guy, and I think one of the best
I think
things
it's more just like, I mean, just to go on your point, the Bills just need like a superstar on defense. I feel like if the Bills had a superstar on defense, they would probably have made a Super Bowl right now, but they just don't have that. And superstars are not easy to come by. They don't grow on trees, especially on defense. And I know that freaking Micah Parsons is available for a trade, but they don't have the money for that. They just don't.
Yeah.
To me, it kind of seems like They need almost like a Brian Flores type, where they can make talent from someone, rather than Leslie Frazier. Shoot, is Leslie Frazier still with the Bills?
No, he's
Oh.
been gone after 2022. It's McDermott doing a double duty. He's doing coaching and calling the defense.
I guess this has been an issue with the McDermott Bills, but like I've noticed it too when Frazier was in charge of the Vikings. They have talented people, don't get me wrong. They just don't have anybody who can make something from that talent. Like Flores, I think, squeezed blood from a stone from some of those guys like Grenard and Van Ginkel. Whereas I don't think Bobby Babich has it in him to do that right now.
Yeah. It's just
Honestly,
I just feel like the Bills they need to do that, but I also feel like they really just need to really construct they need to make the team that is just not going to get beat on defense. But I don't think they have been able to do that. And granted, I like that Bean went, like he really went defensive heavy in this draft class. I know a lot of people criticized him for not going on the offense with like weapons or all that, but I look at this defense and it's like, yeah, I get why they drafted all those defensive guys. It's easy to see why.
the thing is, they're more likely to probably try to mooch someone off like the Saints or someone to try to build up, because they're going to have to try to find that one dude that can improve their defense. And the funny thing is, I think someone like a Demario Davis would be great in Buffalo. But you want to know the worst part? He's a fucking linebacker, and they all have linebackers there right now. So it's just like going down the list of like what teams you think will be bad and will theoretically do so. But then it just ultimately comes down to like the Bills aren't going, like the Bengals aren't going to give up like some like a Myles Garrett. They're not going to give up like any of their new guys because they want to build shit up. The Bengals, Ravens, and Steelers will all be competing for playoff spots. You could try taking your luck to the AFC South, but like what besides the Colts, who are trying to build a team to win the division, so I don't think they would be selling. You'd have to pick between Jacksonville and Tennessee, and Tennessee isn't going to give you Jeffrey Simmons for cheap. Hell, I don't even think they'll give you Jeffrey Simmons at all. Not to mention the AFC West, nobody's buying from there. So it just comes down to like you have to. There's almost no teams for trade candidates. So like you're going to, if you want that next game-breaking guy, you're probably going to be shit out of luck, because like you think you're going to try to swindle away any of the Giants defenders, even if a Brian Dable gets fired after this season. Good luck trying to weasel away Brian Burns. Good luck trying to weasel away fucking what's his name? Dexter Lawrence. Yeah, don't try to have a easy time trying to get a weasel away the Oregon guy. Fuck, I forget his name.
I think you might be able to get the
Kayvon Thibodeau?
Thibodeau, yeah.
Owner of the Dimsdale Thibodeau?
I mean, the thing about it, how I feel, is you're gonna have to try to make like a big massive. But if you're thinking that big swing you're gonna take is gonna be somebody that, hey, will you take a third or a fourth for a starter? It's not gonna be that simple. It's going to have
you need the first rounders.
It's not.
Gonna have to.
It's not going to be simple.
Gonna spend a lot of draft capital, and I think that if there's a one real good team to do it is to sacrifice your long-term future in terms of draft capital. You say, you know what, fuck them picks, and go all out and that again. Much as they said fuck them picks, the picks fucked back. But guess what? They still won a Super Bowl, and that's what matters at the end of the day.
Not to mention, too, that
Yes.
same team also just made the playoffs like 2 or 3 years later and almost beat the Super Bowl champions because they were like 2 or 3 yards away from beating them. So
Also-
the
Yeah,
thing,
I mean, here's the thing about that. Like, I feel like if you're gonna do that, it's for a Super Bowl push. You're gonna tell them picks to go fuck themselves because you're making a Super Bowl push because all that matters at the end of the day, especially for a team and a franchise like the Buffalo Bills, is they win a Super Bowl. And like they have, I will say this on the point about the big defensive splashes. They have tried before. The problem is their biggest defensive splash, the one that was supposed to really take them to that next level, was Von Miller. And that didn't pan out.
And here's something a lot of people don't remember or like choose not to talk about when it comes to the Rams' fuck them picks strategy. They still like, in order to actually pull that off, they still like pulled talent from those later picks. Like they weren't just willy-nilly throwing out their picks for like superstars. You know, they still had to do like their homework when it came to scouting and like, you know, getting value out of guys like, you know, that's how they found guys like Puka Nakua or, you know, Gary Hodgeboom, some of the lower end guys that people might not have remembered. A lot of those unsung heroes of that Super Bowl were like later round pick guys. Like
having a
Let
really,
me-
they
Like
had a
your goal
really great,
your goal is to make the best roster possible.
most
Like
annoying thing ever. They've had really good. I think it was like 2 years after they won the Super Bowl. They had an excellent draft. They had, I think, 2 excellent drafts back to back. So
yeah, the thing is
Yeah.
about the Bills, too, even with the rosters that they've had currently, they've kept up with the Chiefs. They had the ball with 30 seconds, well, I mean, with not 30 seconds, with 3 minutes to go at the end of the game. And you want to know what happened? Negative yard rush, scrambles outright for a first down, incomplete, short pass for 5 yards, incomplete. That it all comes down to execution too. You could still be you could still not have the greatest guys and execute, but the Bills haven't executed against the fucking Chiefs. So that's why they have to have that next guy, because if you have to do this again for the 30th time in a row, you're going to be fucked.
it's just
The
at the end
Bi-
of the day, the Bill. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, the Bills are frustrating. They do everything right when it doesn't fucking matter. And that's gonna be similar for another team that we'll get to next week. Because, God, they're more infuriating than them. But I will at least give the Bills this. At least when they've played the Chiefs, they haven't been fucking blowouts. They've always been close.
I mean, outside of the first time, but that was not like Bills were still like that was not Super Bowl expectations. That was more just
Yeah.
we're happy to be here and we're happy to make it this far. It's just the Bills keep getting closer and closer, but yeah, it feels like at the end of the day, the only thing that's going to matter is can the Bills do it. It's not going to matter how close they are. It's not going to matter how well they make it look. It matters can they do it. And this honestly goes to every team when it comes to facing someone like the Chiefs or the Eagles. Can you get by them? Can you get by them? That's the only thing that matters at the end of the day. And I feel like to go on Spencer's point about what the Rams were able to do. The best front offices in football. They make the best rosters and they do whatever it takes to make those best rosters, to make those great rosters that can win and go and get you a Super Bowl. And the Bills need to do that. And whether that's by getting someone, like getting a big name, or doing it through the draft. As I said earlier, this team, I feel, needs a 2024 Eagles draft class to win a Super Bowl. They need that great of a draft class. And if they're able to do that, that would be wonderful. But as with everything with the NFL, it's wait and see.
One more thing before I end off my point. You guys want to know the last time the Chiefs didn't appear in a conference championship? It was, or at least, it was in 2017, where they played the Marcus Mariota Titans in the wild card, and the Titans won that game.
I remember that because it was a huge choke job by Andy Reid, and everybody was just like,
great game.
Yeah, and Sean McDonough having his voice die on him in live television.
how many? He went through puberty like 7 times that game.
But yeah, I assume Noah went off mute, so I assume Noah has something to say.
Not really, honestly.
Oh. So, the Bills are just... They're
There.
frustrating.
Oh, also, if any Bills fans are listening to this, the name of my charity is the Carsausage is Broke and Needs Money Foundation. So, like, if you get if you get offended, just feel free to donate to my charity just to spite me.
Yeah,
He would hate
insane.
that.
Well, now it's time to get the floors and ceilings with the Bills. Floors and ceilings honestly don't fucking matter for this team because, barring Josh Allen gets injured, this team's gonna win the division. This team's just gonna win it. But I guess for the sanctity of it, I don't know. This team goes like 9-8 at worst, and they go, at best, everything goes right, 15-2.
My floor wildcard exit. Well, they're matter. They're
Dang
at
it, that was gonna be my gimmick. Dang it.
And mine, my floor is 9, ceiling 15. I am unoriginal.
Noah?
Yo.
Yeah, floor and
I'm
ceiling?
sorry. I really have nothing to say about
That is fair. That is fair. The Bills are.
Well-
Did you beat Mahomes? Yes, great. You probably are going. Well, nope. See you again next year.
Well,
Okay, so I'm gonna be a bit more specific than just being mad at Luke for taking my bet. My floor for the Bills is they get upset in the wild card by like a Bo Nix or a Daniel Jones, and their ceiling is winning it all. Probably
Oh, no.
against
what would be incredibly funny now that I kind of realized now is fucking if the Titans win the division at like 7-10 and upset the Bills. God, that would be so horrible and so funny.
Yeah, and like it's not even at that point it isn't even Cam Ward starting. It's
Fucking goddamn Mason Rudolph isn't there.
no, I think it's the
on the Steelers.
DEI. I think it's the DEI hire that's backing up Cam Ward.
I'm looking this up. I completely forget.
Tim Boyle. Tim.
Oh, moving on. Oh god. Fucking moving on. Up next, the Miami Dolphins. Notable additions and retain. Guys, Minka Fitzpatrick's back. But how is he back? Stay tuned for more. Cornerback Jack Jones from the Raiders. Center Liam Eichenberg. Linebacker Tyrell Dodson. The Insanity Run himself, Nick Westbrook-Akine, wide receiver, re-signed cornerback Cater Kohu, cornerback Mike Hilton, offensive guard Daniel Brunskill, linebacker KJ Britt, defensive line Benito Jones, the worst running back on planet Earth, Alexander Madison, the worst offensive tackle on Earth, Larry Borum, long snapper Joe Matt Cardona, punter Ryan Stonehouse, and the MILF hunter Zach Wilson. As for
They got
draft
Joe
picks,
Swanson. They got Joe Swanson at long snapper.
True. Round 1, they drafted Kenneth Grant out of Michigan. The joke, I don't know, mid shit again. I don't know. Round 2, offensive guard Jonah Saivanea from Arizona. The joke is I just butchered his name. And then the grab bag starting early, defensive tackle Jordan Phillips out of Maryland, 5th round pick. 5th round pick, cornerback Jason Marshall Jr. out of Florida. 5th round pick out of Maryland, safety Dante Trader Jr. Out of the 6th round, sneaky good pickup, running back Ollie Gordon II out of Oklahoma State. Round 7, Quinn fucking Ewers.
Yeah, wait, hold on.
Round 7 again. Round 7, DT, Zeke, Big Ers. I just want to clarify, I said Big and Ers. Out of Georgia Tech. Yeah, I just needed to clarify because I don't want to talk too fast during that part.
Right,
notable
the category
leaves
is people who annoy you.
No, I'm refraining. Notable leaves. Cornerback Jalen Ramsey. They won Amika Fitzpatrick, but lost Jalen Ramsey at what cost? Offensive guard traded Robert Jones to the Cowboys. God rest his soul. Safety Jordan Poyer, who's homeless or retired. I don't know. Safety Javon Holland, who went to the Giants. God rest his soul. He needs it. Edge Emmanuel Ogba, defensive line Calais Campbell, Arthur Smith, Wet Dream, Jonnu Smith, edge Deshaun Hand going to Jacksonville, cornerback Kendall Fuller, linebacker Anthony Walker Jr., offensive tackle Kendall Lamb, tight end Durham Smite him, Pro Bowl quarterback Tyler Huntley, edge Tyus Bowser. Sounds like a Breaking Bad character. And last but not least, the fastest running back 2 known on Earth, Raheem Mostert. Just like the Bills, none of these additions have fucking mattered. The leaves kind of mattered, and all I'm gonna say is, we're going to see Quentin Ewers or Zach Wilson play games in 2025. Because we know for damn sure Tua isn't staying healthy this entire season.
Well, has stayed healthy for a full season. Shocking as that state. My thing with Tuna Tagovailoa is, buddy, we're the fucking caps whipped bitch, followed by.
I'm going to be honest. I have to wonder if he's even going to be how healthy, how mentally in the head he's going to be for next year. He's already been concussed twice. He was in the fencing position. I'm amazed. He's still throwing.
I mean,
oh my god! I just came up with a great name for Tua. Tua Tungavai Noodle Casserole.
My thing with
Tuna Tungavai Luna Casserole. That's great. I'm putting that down.
With Tua is, I'm at the point where I need to, like, there's going to be a point where, like, if the Dolphins don't make the playoffs, Ross is going.
The thing is, Tua isn't even, like, at his best. I still don't think he has a very high ceiling. At his best, he's a Dak Prescott, which isn't inherently bad, But paying that much money for a Dak Prescott is something that another team will surely learn is not a great idea. And I said this when Tua got signed. He's just not going to be it for this team. He's
here's the thing. Here's the thing on this point. Like the thing with Tua is like he's good when he's healthy, but unfortunately we rarely ever see him healthy. So it's like the ceiling basically. I mean, the ceiling with Tua, as I said last year, it's Hawaiian Dak Prescott or Hawaiian Kirk Cousins, however you want to say it, because they're basically the same damn quarterback. The thing is, it's like, the thing is, it's like everyone knows what's going to happen. I get why the Dolphins did it, because if you look at the Dolphins' quarterback history, post Dan Marino, it's yikes. It's pretty bad. But at the same time, it also just feels like the Dolphins are just in a bad position of, like, look, I'm just gonna say it. The Dolphins are one of those teams that really just screams, this is a team that could end up imploding and end up being a tanking team.
Guys, I got a funny name for Tua. Guys, Hawk Tua. Just like that video.
Because the thing is, like,
thank you guys so much for watching the Untitled Sickos Project. Comedy has peaked. We're not going to get any better than this. We thank you guys so much for watching.
There's also a big issue. Real quick, there's also a big issue with them notably sucking. That's kind of been a problem for you. Can't beat 100. Yeah, they can't beat teams over 500. Tua is a mess, literally, and they suck in the cold. In a division where most teams play in the cold.
You want to know something? The last time Miami won a playoff game, guess who their starting quarterback was?
Marino.
Jay
No. Stop, Jay.
It was in fact Jay Fiedler. And you want to know what he won in that game? 18 for 37, 176 passing yards and 3 INTs. All-time stinker.
Oh, did you just say the secret word? Stinker? Because boy do I... No, it's okay. This one isn't loud. There we go.
God. Also, I'm gonna say this too, and I might get a weird look or two. Mike McDaniel has fallen off since his start. Last year he had one of the fastest offenses in the league, and they ended up being ranked 22nd in points and 18th in yards. And I get Tua was hurt for some of the games, but you want to know something? Tua still played 11 games last year. That's a pretty decent amount to win and expect your backup to win a game or two. Like, we gotta start taking a slight look at Mike McDaniel and how he coaches his team. Because you can beat teams 70 to 20 all you want.
I'm gonna be honest, most people would agree with you. Like, especially after last season, there was definitely a lot of discussion about how it just felt like the Dolphins were constantly unprepared. They were they just did not seem ready at all for any games last season, and it just felt like Mike McDaniel's stock, as you said, it had fallen, because a lot of people I've seen would agree with you on that. And it's like, it feels like Mike McDaniel has the opposite problem of what Brian Flores had when he was in Miami, because from all accounts, Brian Flores, and I don't think Flores is a bad dude or anything. I think he's a great defensive coordinator, and honestly, what he's done with Minnesota is nothing short of remarkable. But in Miami, from all accounts, the dude was a fucking dipshit. Like, the dude was doing his worst Bill Belichick impersonation, and it did not go over well. Meanwhile, Mike McDaniel feels like he isn't doing enough in terms of holding accountability and getting the team ready to play, ready to win. And it just feels like he's wearing out his welcome in Miami very fast.
Also, I'm just gonna say it. He looks like He looks like he used to say slurs on Xbox Live.
I want to bring this up too about them. It's not like legitimately a lot. This is kind of going to like the Rich Gannon thing, because like I talked about. I'll probably talk about it more when we do the West. But like, are we not just gonna talk about how he started off 2-6? Wow, like you beat the Rams. Congratulations. That's one game. You want to know who else they beat during that period? The Raiders, the Patriots, the fucking Jets, the Niners who didn't have a fucking quarterback, and then the Cleveland Browns. Wow, do you want a cookie? Do you want a cookie for doing the bare minimum? You want? Wow! Oh my god! Oh my god, guys! But Miami's so fast. You know they got Devon Achane. They got Tyreek Hill. They got fucking Jalen Waddle. They have Jonnu Smith. Look how fast this team is, guys. Okay, now turn that how fast they are in the skill. How much skill is really on this team?
There's not a whole
Because
lot.
you can only be fast so much. You have a car. You have a car that goes from 0 to 60 in 0.2 seconds, but the fucking exhaust pipe is rusty as shit. The transmission is halfway dead, and more than anything, if you so as much even touch a brake on that car, there's no seatbelts, and you're going flying straight out that window, going headfirst into the turf. Just like Tua has done over the past couple of years. I'm tired of hearing that this team is underrated.
We're gonna talk about the Dolphins' talent. Sorry, you're really starting to get mad, dude. Like you're really, we can hear your anger, dude.
Holy shit!
Because the fucking Dolphins piss me off.
Well, look, if we're gonna talk about the talent, if we're gonna talk about the Dolphins' talent, let's talk about something that I think impresses everyone. Let's talk about their secondary.
Yeah,
they suck. They're horrible.
Hold on, I want to get. Their skill is like what it was like. Are you fast? Wow, you're fast. You get all the females or opposite genders that consider speed attractive. But as you get older, you have to show more than you're just fast and can go 0 to 100 in 6 seconds. We need to see the fact that, that's great. We see that this team is clearly skilled, but what are you going to do in the big games? Like, a stiff, cold breeze just stops your offense entirely. Why isn't the preparation being like, hey, you know what we're going to do? We're going to blast the AC in the winter. We're going to try to make our facilities as cold as we can, just so that we're ready to play in the cold. It's the preparation's clearly not there. I really liked Mike McDaniels. I liked him. I thought he was the person that Tua needs, but now it feels like you got to go back to Mr. Meanie. You know?
Not to mention
They don't need a Brian Flores, but they need an in between what a Flores is and what a McDaniel is.
What's up, Spencer?
Guys, they're gonna have to get rid of the ping pong table.
Oh god.
No, not the ping pong table. Whatever. But
look, I'm just gonna say this. I've heard for however long that this Miami roster is talented. The issue with this team is there's talent, but you want to know something? You can't like this isn't a track race. This is an NFL team. You can't win someone by expecting to outrun them every single time. You get some really funny moments, like the whole Denver game, but I think this sums up Miami perfectly. They are the antithesis of hype moments and aura. Other than that, what else do you got with this team? Oh wow, we get deep bombs to Tyreek Hill. What about wins?
What about staying out of trouble with the law?
Ooh, that's a good one.
What about?
I mean, look, on your point. I mean, actually, go ahead. Go
no,
finish it.
I was gonna say, but what wins do you have? Oh, we have wins against the Rams. Okay, what other wins? We swept the Patriots.
Get it?
We beat the we beat the Waiters. We beat the
Yeah,
Jaguars.
they know how to beat. As you can see, they know how to beat bad teams, but they cannot win against above 500 teams, or they can't win in cold weather.
But we beat the
Now,
Cowboys.
I do agree. True.
Don't you
I will
get
say
it?
this though. Okay.
I
The
think
Dolphins and talent, because it's frustrating because there is talent on this team. I mean, the wide receiver core is talented. Jalen Waddle's very good. Tyreek Hill is good when he's staying out of trouble, and that's probably going to be way easier said than done for him. Their running back core is probably one of the best in football. There's no denying that. They have a great running game. I mean, on defense, we know their secondary is absolute dog shit, but there is some talent in the front seven. Chop Robinson had a great rookie season. Glad I was right about that. And guys like Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips are talented, but there's
They got hurt.
a big asterisk with that. They get injured. They get injured a lot, and there's a massive asterisk with that. So there's talent there. I like what they have in their linebacker core, but it's just the Dolphins overall. In terms of just an overall defense, they don't have a good defense, and for the guys they do have outside of Chop Robinson, no one can really be trusted. And I just look at the roster, and it's man, this is not good.
You wanna know why I call this team the Hype Moments and Aura team? They were dumb enough to sign OBJ in 2024. Guys, I just want to sit here and say this. Do you want to know how many yards OBJ had last year? He had 55. He had 55.
Guys,
You want to know how many games he played? Take a wild guess.
one.
Take a guess. He played 9. He played fucking 9.
But guys, sorry to interrupt, but I'm doing a bit of Amazon shopping, and I am buying this chopper slicer because I could use that in my kitchen, and they put a lens flare on the fucking onion. The onion.
Good God.
You gotta see this shit. This fucking graphic design is my passion.
God. Want to know the best part about Miami last year? Only four players had receiving touchdowns last year for their team. More than likely, you have 6, 7, 8 guys all have different receiving touchdowns. But the fact that it was only Jonnu Smith, Tyreek Hill, Devon Achane, and Jalen Waddle shows you that their depth sucks at wide receiver. So going into this year,
guys is gone. One of those guys is gone and become a Yinzer.
True. Not to mention too, one of them requested a trade. I say in quotes, but now he's suddenly like, no, I want to stay in Miami. The post-trade clarity hit when he realized he's got traded to a place where he'd have to pay taxes. The other one, Devon Achane, I'll admit I was wrong on him. At first I didn't get why he was drafted with someone like Raheem Mostert, but now that he's gone, I'll admit that I'm wrong. But not to mention too, I'm gonna say this as well. Even though he was hurt last year, Jalen Waddle was severely disappointing. Like legitimately, he was not effective at all.
Very underwhelming.
Which, and I hate really bringing up stats because stats don't mean everything. But last year, he played one less game than he did last year. He played one more game than he did last year. Well, in 2023 speak. He played 15 games this year, and he had 744 yards and 2 touchdowns. And no offense, I don't think that one game of Skylar Thompson and 5 games of Tyler Huntley is enough to justify that. To justify the way that he looked. Stats don't mean everything, but they sure fucking tell a story. And the fact of the matter is, this Miami team, you want to know what the story is? Hype moments and aura.
Well, not just that. It's also the creation of a guy that somehow has not gotten fired yet, because for as much as we can talk about the coaching, we can talk about Mike McDaniel, we can go on past coaching streaks about guys like Flores or, God, even Adam Gase. The biggest problem in Miami is not the coaching. As much as the coaching is a problem, it is not the biggest problem. The biggest problem is their front office. Chris
Yeah,
Greer
ownership
has
sucks.
been the GM of the Miami Dolphins since 2016. This is going to be his 10th season as GM. He's also been with the Dolphins organization since 2000. The last time they won a playoff game, which, for the record, the last time they won a playoff game, Bill Clinton was in office. So, with that in mind, the Miami Dolphins have a guy who has been their GM for 10 seasons. Want to know how many playoff wins they have in those 10 seasons?
Hey, Nick, I have a guess. Can you pick on me? Can I say the guest?
Go ahead.
Is it the same amount of everyone in this group chat right now?
Yes.
Oh no!
Actually, if you wanted to say it's this, actually no. If you wanted to say something, you could have asked me, is it the same amount of playoff wins? Genuinely, the Dolphins have the same amount of playoff wins that the Bears have had in that time.
Yay!
Like genuinely, oh God, the Miami Dolphins are frustrating for many reasons, but it just feels like the roster construction for this franchise has been terrible. And so many of their problems, and why the Dolphins are so bad and have been so bad in the trenches for so long. Why they aren't able to, out tough other teams, like be physical compared to other teams. Why doesn't that happen? Well, if I'm being completely honest, Chris Greer has done a terrible job at investing in the trenches. And yes, he's made some good picks here and there, like Chop Robinson last year. But overall, the Dolphins, after all these years, all this time where the Dolphins should really be pushing for more than just a playoff win, but they're having to settle for that because God knows this franchise is just dying for a playoff win. The Dolphins, throughout all this time, still don't have a roster that feels like they can win a playoff game. And I'm just at the point with Chris Greer where it's like, it's really funny. It's really funny that you are so much worse. You are such a bad GM. You are so much worse than your brother, Mike Greer is, and that's hilarious because he's the GM of the San Jose Sharks. And yes, I know they're a rebuilding team. I know they're doing a very good job in terms of getting talent. But it's very funny that someone whose main job as a GM has been to just rebuild and tank every season is so much better of a GM than the guy that's had 10 seasons to get the Miami Dolphins a playoff win. You've had 3 coaches in that time span, and you still can't get them a playoff win. Because at the end of the day, Dolphin fans just want a damn playoff win. They want to see their team win a game in January that matters. Win a game,
Nick,
and win a game
finish first.
and feel like you have something that just I know you can feel satisfied about the fact that I don't know how I'm gonna finish this. It's just the Dolphins are just fucking frustrating. They're so frustrating that I can't even finish this. They're a frustrating franchise, and Chris Greer is fucking terrible at his job.
To piggyback off your point, Nick, let's play a little game. We'll do hit or no hit, and we'll go with Chris Greer's all-time hits on getting trench people. His first ever guy that he drafted, Laramie Tunsil. Not a hit because he traded him.
Smash.
Well, I'm gonna say hit
sorry.
because
Great
he
pick.
still got
It's a
2
great pick,
first-round
but he got
picks.
traded.
Great
Yeah.
pick, and I
That's
think
true.
you got a lot of great assets for they wouldn't be nearly as competitive as they are without those picks. I'm gonna
Up next, Charles Harris. 2017. Offensive edge rusher. Went to 2 teams in 2024.
That's miss.
Up next, let's even be generous and do day 3. Jerome Baker. Been on multiple teams in multiple years, and is predominantly not a pass rusher. Miss. Christian Wilkins. You know what? For what he did in Miami, hit. Offensive guard, Michael Dietzler. Played 2 games for Washington last year, has mostly been a backup piece. Miss. Going up next, Austin Jackson, from the same draft that they got Tua in. Has played multiple different positions throughout his career, but has never been one of the better guys at his position. I will be accepting of a hit there. Now we move on. Jalen Phillips. Fucking big, one of the biggest busts of all time. Miss.
Hold on. Here's the thing with Phillips. Hold on. He's very talented. It's just he can't stay healthy. That's the thing. I was gonna say, like, I think that's a bit of a dramatization on your part.
Fair enough. And then Chop Robinson. Too early to tell. Patrick Paul played 3 games this year. For the most part, he hasn't hit. And guess what? He did get a bunch of O-linemen to start his draft this year, but too little too late. You just don't have your guys. And they're going to suffer for a bit. And Chris Greer, this might be his last year. If the Dolphins, I think, go like 4-13, heck, even like a 5-12, I think that both GM and head coach are gone.
I think the Dolphins just missed I think if they miss the playoffs, they're gone. I think they're cleaning house. Because honestly, it just feels like last season, okay, you had injuries. I mean, I don't think it's a good enough excuse, but they had injuries. This season, there's no more excuses for it. And when you're a GM that's in their 10th season and you haven't so as much gotten a damn playoff win, time's ticking.
I will say this, though. If Miami does begin to suck, and Tyreek Hill still wants to be out slightly, the Bills could potentially sweep in and take Tyreek Hill, and they'd finally get their guy.
In division, though?
I mean, the Lions did it with Hawkinson.
Yeah, that's a special case, because, I don't know. I feel like, not every GM is Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah.
But their head coach definitely is, he's definitely interesting.
I know the joke you're gonna make.
Look, man, that's all I'm gonna say. But, anyone else got anything on the Miami Dolphins?
I got nothing. This is probably the division I have
Tua turned the ball over again, or something. I don't know.
I feel like I need to apologize to Nickman for saying Mike McDaniel has a passing resemblance to you.
It is what it is. It's just, at the end of the day, for Mike McDaniel, like, hype moments and aura do not always last.
Well, now we got floors and ceilings, guys. And you want to know what my floor for this team is? 3-14.
I actually got to bring that up real quick because I want to add something real quick. How many of all the how many offensive?
You're cutting in and out.
Because last year the Dolphins had a top 10 scoring in football. Well, yeah, they did not allow many points per game. They were undone by so the more notables that leave the defense, well, the more likely their defense gets worse. And their offense was 22nd. So, depending on how many leaves there are, they could be a bottom feeder.
Yeah, I agree. They could easily be a bottom feeder.
I think this is the year the rug gets pulled from. I think their floor is blow it up at the deadline. They blow the team behind the offseason.
I think they're. Oh yeah, I forgot to say my ceiling. My ceiling for this team, if everything goes well, maybe they go 11-6. But I am leaning way towards the floor than I am the ceiling.
I think the Miami Dolphins are my Mission Bucks team. I think the floor is Twins, but I think they're.
It's not.
Either or.
I have
Is
to
it
wonder
my
now.
internet that's shitting? Because, like...
No, it's fine.
Oh,
I have to wonder now that we are talking about potentially blowing up. If the Marlins blow it up and Tua's no longer with them, can we just remember just how badly that injury against Mr. a few years back before he got drafted to the NFL? Tua.
Yeah,
That was the
that
moment it all
injury
went
may have
wrong.
fucking. Yeah, that might have been fucking patient zero.
So, like, my ceiling for them is a 1-16, and then their
in your floor.
yeah, my floor is 1-16, and my ceiling for them is 10-7. But my door, which is what I think will happen, is they're gonna fucking shit
They're gonna
out.
slam their penis in the door.
They're gonna slam their penis right into the car door. Finish 6-11. Mike McDaniel is finally gone, and then Chris, and then the owner just brings in somebody from the Michigan Wolverines.
Hot take, but the Dolphins are like the Jey Uso of the NFL. Ooh.
I was about to
You see,
mention that.
that's not. You see, that's not accurate, Josco, because Jey Uso won a championship.
Or won a
Alright.
championship in recent memory. Floor and ceiling for me. Dolphins. Floor will be 4. I think honestly for most of the worst teams, I feel like the lowest they can go is 3, because it seems like whenever the NFL has gone to 17 games, that's usually the lowest it goes. But I think the Dolphins get just above that. So 4 it is. And ceiling, let's go with 10.
Guys, I have a cursed thought right now.
What?
The Dolphins, for their next head coach, hire Wink fucking Martindale.
Noah, quickly say your floor and ceiling before that idea steeps in.
2-15, 2-15 at worst, and potentially going for the first. At best, they are. Honestly, I'd give them 9-8 and a first round exit. I don't like them, man. The fun stuff of the Dolphins. I think they pretty much lost it. After losing Chiefs to.
Oh God,
Ever
I'm
since
thinking
then, they
about it.
haven't been.
Oh my god, I just kind of had the idea about the fucking Dolphins now.
But you know what? Who knows? Perhaps they'll probably start 3-0 for the 50th time, and they'll probably be the greatest Week 3 champions of all time.
True! Quarter season champions are the greatest. Anywho, my last thing that I want to say about the Dolphins are like jerking off.
What?
Let me
Need to move
explain.
on.
The Dolphins are like jerking off
Alright, let's go to the
because
Jets.
it's just
We're
disgusting.
We're moving on to the Jets.
You don't give him the spritz? I see how
Oh no,
it is.
I got spritz.
He got spritz. Instead of getting spritz, I threw the fucking backup to the backup barrel full of water I had at him.
Boo. Hey, Josco agrees with me. Josco agrees. Yeah, that's my boy.
That's not what he was agreeing with.
Nah, that was. Anywho, up next we have the New York Jets. For notable additions, they re-signed Garrett Wilson. Also, I wanted to say for these notable additions / retains, I wanted to put accepting your fate for some of these. Unfortunately, I forgot to put that. So Garrett Wilson accepted his fate as a Jet. Josh Myers took a paycheck to go there from Green Bay. He must have not gotten the word that Aaron Rodgers went to the Steelers, so shame for him. Jamin Sherwood accepted his fate. Brandon Stevens signed there. Andre Cisco decided, the sunny beaches of Florida. Nah, I want to go to New York. Sauce Gardner accepted his fate. Tony Adams accepted his fate. Alan Lazard, I think he decided that this was the only team that wanted him. Cornerback Isaiah Oliver. Justin Fields.
Yeah, that's probably going to be the main issue once again. They don't have a really big. They don't have a special quarterback.
Yeah, Justin Fields. Sadly, cocaine's a hell of a drug, and he spent his check. It took the biggest one to go there. Wide receiver Tyler Johnson. Bears defensive lineman Byron Cowart, and Lions wide receiver Josh Reynolds. For draft picks, these poor souls. Offensive tackle Armand Membo from Missouri. In round 2, tight end Mason Taylor from LSU. Round 3, quarterback Arizima Thomas from Florida State. Round 4, wide receiver Arian Smith from Georgia. I have received word he does not have his driver's license, so he is safe. Up next, safety Malachi Moore from Alabama. And then for the grab bag, from the 5th round, linebacker Francisco Mauga from Miami, and from the 5th round as well, edge Tyler Barron from Miami as well. Now for notable leaves. The ones that were able to escape. Tight end Tyler Conklin, wide receiver Devontae Adams, cornerback DJ Reed, offensive tackle Morgan Moses, defensive line Javon Kinlaw, safety Chuck Clark, offensive tackle Tyron Smith, cornerback Jalen Mills, defensive line Solomon Thomas, cornerback Brandon Eccles, edge Hassan Reddick, punter Thomas Morstead, and no one else. No one at all. No one at all of significance left.
Aren't you
No one
forgetting
at
a
all.
certain piece of shit asshole who
No,
quite
Spencer.
frankly
No,
burn in hell
Spencer.
and rot?
No, Spencer. That's what the woke media wants you to think. He doesn't exist. He doesn't exist. He's not a real person. Believe it or not, he was always a figment of your imagination. That's right.
Well,
your imagination.
Well, here's what: he was real, and if he did manifest himself, I tell him go fuck yourself. And quite frankly, I think you'd be doing the human race a service if you committed suicide.
No.
Hey.
We are not advocating for that here. We want him to live a happy life, despite the fact he is one of the most annoying and insufferable people, if he existed in Minecraft.
I'd make exceptions for this man.
The Jets.
Insane.
With how much vaccine misinformation he spread, I have no sympathy towards him. And if he went out the Hulk Hogan way, I'd celebrate in the streets.
That's insane.
You guys know what the main issue is going to be with the Jets, and it's going to be the quarterback position. Do you want to know?
Yeah.
You want to know who the last Jet was? Who was able to the last Jet quarterback who?
Who what?
You want to know the last Jet who I would consider really be able to carry their team to the playoffs? Vinny
Can I-
Testaverde.
Ugh.
Not the
That would be
Sanchez,
good.
bro. Not the
Not the-
Sanchez.
Those teams were carried by their defense. You already know this.
But Noah, what about Chad Pennington? Everyone loves Chad Pennington. That's right, you at home, you love Chad Pennington, and if you don't, your parents didn't raise you right, and you should blame them. But
I was focused on a different mediocre quarterback from the 2000s, and his name is Dante Culpepper, baby.
Gross. I just kind of look through the entire Giants like passers, not Giants, Jets passers. It goes from Vinny Testaverde to fucking Brooks Bollinger.
Oh, apologies for calling them Vinny Testaverde.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah. Brett Favre, Mark Sanchez, Geno Smith, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Josh McCown, Sam Darnold, Zach Wilson, and Aaron Rodgers.
I mean,
That is insane.
I mean, it's the thing that the Jets have. It's not the weird thing about the Jets is like to find their franchise guy. I felt like they've somehow been the team that has inexplicably missed every single time. I just can't explain how they just doing it every single time.
It's like they're constantly rolling at ones in D&D. Like, oh, you rolled a 1, but I put all my shit into strength. Hate to break it to you, buddy, you rolled a 1. Say goodbye to Aaron Rodgers. Ah, man. But hey, this Sam Darnold guy, he's gonna work out. Hate to break it to you, but you rolled a 1 again. What? Are you kidding? Who else couldn't we gotten? Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. Oh, but we got Adam Gase. Okay, that's just you being stupid.
Yeah, that's just stupid. I mean, here's the thing with quarterbacks. The Jets are the Bears of the AFC. Let's not try and deny it. They are. They even as a Bears fan, I can associate with that because we've seen how bad quarterback histories can get, and the Jets are certainly one of the worst. And it's just, I mean, the thing with Fields is I feel like Justin Fields is going on his Tyrod Taylor arc where he's now the journeyman quarterback that's just going to be passed around. And, he can get you some productive play here and there. He can get you some hype moments in aura, if we're being completely honest. But Justin Fields is someone who I just see as a stopgap. Like, he's a stopgap quarterback for the Jets. I mean, it's not the only stopgap quarterback they've had in, the past decade or so, but I feel like Justin Fields is really, really just becoming the Tyrod Taylor, or he's taking Tyrod Taylor's mantle as, mobile quarterback that just, gets passed around.
Hey now. I think
This is what
I
dreams
think
are
if
made
there's
of.
anything, I think Justin Fields. Here's the thing: Justin Fields is one of those potential men, because believe it or not, Justin Fields has everything to be a good quarterback. But you want to know
Don't tell me you're
something?
using those two words again.
But sadly, there is no what if in this scenario. The fact of the matter is, he was given tools to succeed. He didn't use them to his correct advantage. And as shitty as it is, he got he got what he deserved. Like, if you can't play well, that's on you. Now, granted, I will say this. He did get fucked over in Pittsburgh. Legitimately, there was no reason for them to go to Russell Wilson at quarterback. Justin Fields played fucking good for his games as starter. But
I mean, I agree
fickle,
with that, but I also I agree with that, but also I feel like in terms of the Steelers, I don't think anything changes really if Fields is still the starter, and I only say that because I have seen annoying Steelers fans talk about how they would have beaten the Ravens if Justin Fields had started that game, which is just bullshit because that defense got fucking pummeled.
oh no, 100%. But I'm just more or less saying Justin Fields, he's always the idea. If the idea of Justin Fields is great, the execution of Justin Fields isn't. Because you want to know something? He can't throw accurately. He can make throws on the run. He has the arm. He can do damn near anything. But he can't read the pocket, and he can't throw accurately. He takes too many sacks, he extends plays for too long, and he just is not that guy.
He's mid. Simply put.
He's unfortunately going to be one of those guys who will never make it. And I think him being on his third team in 3 years is a good example of that. He's not going to be the franchise guy. You want to know what's going to happen? We're going to see Justin Fields play. We're going to see him play in fucking LA. We're going to see him play in like LA for like a season or two because Matthew Stafford retired inexplicably. We're going to see him play over in fucking. We're going to see him play in like New England because Drake May got hurt for a season and he can't. He's just going to be passed around like a blunt. He's legitimately just going to be that, and it sucks. But the team doesn't go anywhere with him. The worst thing.
I agree with that completely, but I was gonna transition to my next point about the Jets. Justin is never going to be that guy. He's always going to be a stopgap quarterback, and the Jets are no different from that. So I will say for the New York Jets, and this is something that I do like that their new coaching staff is doing. Everything I have heard from the offseason, and literally everything I've heard from the moment that Aaron Glenn got hired as the head coach, this is going to be a run-first football team, like very run-heavy. And I feel like in terms of Justin Fields finding the right system for him, because I don't think he's going to do that well in terms of the passing game, but in terms of the rushing attack, especially with guys like Breece Hall in the backfield, and not going to lie, a
Braylon
pretty
Allen.
strong O-line. Not going to lie, yeah, Braylon Allen. And the Jets actually have built a pretty good O-line. Surprisingly, they've actually built a good O-line with a lot of their draft picks, and it's like this is actually something where it feels like the Jets with Justin Fields having a run-first mentality is a good thing. It's a very good thing. It's just, and this is just my mentality with the Jets. The Jets are going to be a really bad team, but I do think they're going to be an annoying bad team. Like, they're going to be, this is a bad team. Like, make
This is a
no doubt
Lions.
about that, but like they're a team that's gonna be annoying. Like they're a pesky team. Like they're a team that if you're a good team and you have to face them, you might be expecting a blowout, but instead of a blowout, you only win by like one score, like one or two scores. And it feels really annoying because they wouldn't go away. That's the kind of team that I see with the Jets. They kind of remind me of like the Cardinals a couple years ago, like or like in Jonathan Gannon's first season, or the Lions and Dan Campbell's first season. Like that's what I'm expecting from the Jets. But I'll let y'all talk about it because I still have many more thoughts on it.
I want to ask a question. Do you think we're ever going to see Brady Cook under center for them this year?
No, Tyrod's the backup, and he will be the. I will say it is funny that Nick brought up the Tyrod Taylor point. I think this is kind of a passing of the torch moment for Justin Fields for that case, But no, I don't think Brady Cook will see the field. But but I will say this: I don't think either quarterback will be healthy. I don't think Fields or Taylor will be super healthy because run-first offenses go heavy on the quarterback. Like, believe it or not, with two very mobile quarterbacks like Tyrod and Fields, you're constantly going to have someone on them, so they're going to be taking hit after hit after hit after hit, even if they don't have the ball. So, I think more than anything, this team will be banged up. I don't think Brady Cook will start, but I think the idea of him starting might creep in if Fields or Taylor can't do shit. And I did want to say one quick about the Jets' schedule this season. They do play the NFC South, which is the weakest division in the NFC. So it's possible the Jets could be a very annoying team for a team like the Buccaneers or the Panthers or the fucking brain fart or the Falcons. It's very possible they can be annoying to those teams.
I mean, looking at their schedule, like, and we're not doing what we did last week, but I'm like just looking at their schedule. It's like I thought it would be really funny, and this is just something funny that's coming to my brain because I don't think they're gonna win week 1, even though it would be funny to see them beat Aaron Rodgers. The only reason I don't see that happening is for some reason it seems like the Steelers just know how to win on the road in week 1 every year, it feels like. But I've imagined a scenario where the Jets start 0-4 and their first win comes against the Cowboys, because that would certainly happen.
Hey, I've seen that
True.
before. Didn't that happen with the Josh Jobs Cardinals?
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. I think the difference. I think the matter of whether we get a team or pushover is their defense. They probably would have been a playoff team. Salad, Bryce Young could throw a football, and on the alternative hand, they probably would have been able to They would probably have been more competitive if they had the defense that they did 2 years ago, last year, even if Rodgers was terrible.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's worth noting that their defensive coordinator for this season is Steve Wilkes, which I know his 49ers tenure wasn't the best by any means, but I do think in terms of just having a veteran guy in there that has history of knowing how to call a defense, I do think Steve Wilkes is a good guy for that, and having Aaron Glenn as head coach should play a big factor in how this defense does, because from what I've heard, and I just want to
You
sorry,
go.
go
You
ahead.
go. All right, my point
I
of
was going to
Steve
say,
Wilkes. All right,
God
after
damn
you.
it. Okay, I'll go first. I was going to say, like, because I recently saw an article about how some of the changes that Aaron Glenn has made, like during practice and training camp and all of that, because it feels similar to what Ben Johnson is currently doing with the Bears, like taking more accountability and discipline. Aaron Glenn's doing that with the Jets, for um and for good reason, because for as much as I do like Robert Saleh, and I do think he got screwed over by the Jets, there was a massive problem that those Jets teams had that really never seemed to get addressed, and the big one in question was discipline, because the Jets, for many years now, have been one of the most penalized teams in football. And I wanted to bring this up because I saw that Aaron Glenn has been making he's been hammering it home about how discipline and accountability is going to be very important with us going forward. And one of the things I saw was that during the Jets practices, or during training camp, they've had referees, live referees at the training camp to help with their discipline, because that's how bad the Jets have been with discipline for these past couple of years. That's how bad they've been with it, that they have to get actual referees to hammer it home that you motherfuckers better be disciplined.
Real quick, guys, this is off topic, but I want you all to quickly look up the Pirates and Rockies game right now.
Yeah, I know. Everything's happening. It's incredible.
Just take a look at it, and I want to
God
hear your guys'
damn.
live reaction.
What?
Look up Pirates and Rockies right now.
So,
What
Great.
the
Right.
fuck?
Holy shit!
okay. All right. If I can say my piece now, I
Go
referred
ahead.
to Steve. I referred to Steve Wilkes regarding his Panthers tenure after. I think it was Matt Rule after he took over.
Yep.
After he took over the Matt Rule era, he actually gave the Panthers quite a bit of work. Honestly, if anything, that makes me wonder so bad. But to be fair, he was also a first-year head coach. So, yeah, I think he should at least give them life and swagger, if not the best results. If that makes any sense.
No, it does. Luke, are you okay? Holy shit, we're getting NFL action this early? The fucking Steelers are taking belt to ass to Bo Nix right now, dude.
Anyway,
the Jets.
here's what I have to, if I may say my piece about this. I am skeptical on what Aaron Glenn can do in New York because, as somebody who lives in Michigan, I have heard for the past 3 years that Aaron Glenn is the problem with the Detroit Lions.
That's fair.
Yeah. So I am like, yeah, it's cool to see, minority coach, and obviously the Lions are pretty happy about that JCA pick they just got. But I don't think I am skeptical that Aaron Glenn is that guy.
And that's fair to say. I do think it's funny you mentioned that because I saw a lot of Lions fans switch up on Aaron Glenn last season. And granted, I understand why they did it because that Lions defense last season was way better than previous seasons, and that's despite all the injuries they had. But it is just really funny that a lot of the Lions fans I saw last season that were really just praising Aaron Glenn and basically calling him their savior on the defense. Those were the same people calling him a terrorist back in 2023. So just want
The
to get that
unfortunate
out
thing with
there.
the Lions defense last year is that eventually it did fall apart, but it wasn't Glenn's fault. It started with Hendrickson and it just never got. Wait, is it Trey Hendrickson or Trey Henderson?
Aiden Hutchinson.
Oh my god, I'm a freaking moron. Aiden Trey Hendrickson Hutchinson. The second he went down, it was patient zero. Everyone was hurt. There was no defense.
Yeah, I can kind of
And it's like-
excuse like what happened. It's gonna be one of those things where we're gonna know what kind of it's gonna be. Like we haven't heard any headlines. I think that should bode well for the Jets, but we're gonna know what kind of head coach he is within a year. Like, you're out after 1 year as a head coach. That's a damn bad sign. But this is where the Jets to me are a big old wait and see. I am on the side that from what I saw from Justin Fields in 2004, they have not been really special. But I think it was at least enough. I think it was at least it showed me enough that where there's enough potential to be here that if you were to tell me that Justin Fields could potentially have a breakout season, Jets, I wouldn't be surprised at all. I think the Jets have the pieces on offense to get it done. The big question is their O-line. Is your O-line going to do enough to protect Justin Fields? And they have invested a lot of draft capital on their offensive line, and it still hasn't been done. Really happy that they extended both Garrett Wilson and they extended Saul. I'm happy for that. But they gotta. This is one of those times where I want to see them do something other than prolapse on the field. I think they could be one of the most feistiest outs out there. I think, especially in divisional games, they're going to be looking to pull out a lot of upsets. So it's a wait and see. I'm pretty confident in. I'm fairly solid 4 out of 10 confidence level in Justin Fields. So I think I could. I think just, but I could also see him flop harder than. Oh, it's also 12-10 Yankees Marlins. I think he could also very flop.
Oh yeah,
Fields is also a journeyman, but I really hope he sticks well because some quarterbacks they might just need a lot of time. Oh, and the Marlins tied it fun.
yeah. Yankees currently blew a 10-4 lead.
Yeah, because because their right fielder fucking messed up. He fucked the ball.
Oh, isn't that where Judge is supposed to be?
Yeah, I think so.
Anywho,
Anyways,
runner
yeah,
on
I think we
third.
should probably get the floor and ceilings.
My
Yeah,
4, 6, and
Lore, 1. Ceiling, ceiling is probably somewhere around 11 and just missing the playoffs.
That's rough. I think their floor is 4 wins. Their ceiling, I'll say 11.
I think their floor is 4. I think their ceiling is 9.
Noah?
As for me, for the Jets, well, I'm going to say their floor can't be worse than the. Did I say Marlins? No, their floor can't be worse than the. At worst, they should still be a scrappy team that gets a playoff. At best, they're probably a 10 to maybe 11 team.
Oh, Yankees just blew the game. Marlins win. Yankees lose. Last but not least.
deserved. How's it? You know what? The Patriots can stay. They haven't suffered for long enough. They can just stay bad.
Well,
Drake making a bust. Served.
Oh yes, the racist.
let's get to the Patriots now. Notable additions, also known as signing your soul over to the Patriots. Linebacker Robert Spillane, offensive tackle DeMontre Jones, edge Harold Landry, offensive tackle Morgan Moses, wide receiver Mac Hollins, cornerback Carlson Davis, center Ben Brown. Believe it or not, as I say that, he just let up a fucking home run. I don't even know who this guy is, but he did just let up a home run. Safety Jalen Hawkins, tight end Austin Hooper, defensive line Milton Williams, linebacker Christian Ellis, edge Kavlon Chasen, defensive line Jeremiah Farms, wide receiver Stephon Diggs. Draft picks from LSU, offensive tackle, he'll die for him. Will Campbell, in the second round. The non-controversial running back from Ohio State, Travion Henderson. Round 3, From Washington State, Kyle Williams. Round 3 again, center Jared Wilson from Georgia. He also doesn't have his driver's license. Round 4, safety Craig Woodson from California. Round 4 again, defensive tackle Joshua Farmer from Florida State. And going into grab bags, round 5, edge Braden Swinson, LSU. Round 6, kicker Andres Boralguez from Miami. Round 7, offensive tackle Marcus Bryant from Missouri. Round 7, the greatest pick of all time, long snapper Julian Ashby from motherfucking Vanderbilt. I need to hear you all clap right now. Give me your claps right now.
I'd clap, but I'm eating Rice Krispies.
Why have you been at Rice Krispies for a long time?
And then from round 7, as
Good.
mystery relevant, defensive back Kobe Minor. No, I am not making the joke. From Memphis. And then now from the notable leaves. Believe it or not, guys, they didn't have too many players that were that notable leave. Defensive line Daniel Ekule, cornerback Jonathan Jones, defensive line Devon Godchalks, edge Dietrich Weiss, quarterback Jacoby Jones, kicker Joey Sly, and long snapper Joe John Cena, Matt Cardona. Well, guys, that's us talking about the Patriots. Let's get the floor and ceiling.
Floor, ceiling, stay bad, get fucked, Lamau. But
On a real note, yeah, this team's just focusing on being better than last year. There's literally nothing that will put this team up for success. I mean,
mid. Completely mid. Floor is 5 wins. Ceiling is 9 wins. Mid.
Here's the
strictly
thing.
mid, is it?
They're not there yet.
If there is
Like,
one
as
thing
much-
you can say, you go first.
I was gonna say,
I swear to God, I keep talking at the wrong times.
no, you're fine. We're gonna talk about the same thing anyway. They definitely have a better head coach. Like,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, definitely.
100% coaching is better, which is good because
Thanks,
God
Lions.
did they need it last year. But fuck, I'm blanking on his name right now. Don't tell me. Mike Vrabel. Yeah, Mike Vrabel is going to be a good coach, and I think he'll lead this team to some sort of success. But the issue is, Drake May doesn't have everything he needs yet. That offensive line has like you have a good transmission, but the gas is still shit. The mileage is still shit. The radio doesn't work. The stick shift is sticky. The brake is squeaky. Like the car has the basis of a vehicle. I mean, it's point A to point B, but like, what else? Like, you have Stephon Diggs, a guy whose main thing is that he just wants the target. He's not going to get targets when the offensive line is killing Drake May. But granted, getting Will Campbell is a slam dunk pick. He's going to be good. He's an LSU guy, especially offensive tackle. He's going to be fine. But the issue is that interior is still not good. The tight end room's still kind of weak. And not to mention too, Stephon Diggs is coming off a ACL injury. And you can have a decent defense all you want, and Christian Gonzalez can be one of the best cornerbacks all you want. But there's nothing else on this team.
Well,
They're
sure
a
there
team
is.
that
I'm gonna be. You know what? No. You know what? I'm gonna talk about him. I think it's my turn to talk now.
you have the
New England.
talking stick.
And
I'm giving you the talking stick.
yeah, the stick has been passed to me. I'm gonna be honest, and I know that this will get some weird looks, but I'm not as down on New England as everyone else, and I will explain why. But there is things about this Patriots team that is telling me this team might be like the Broncos from last season. And what I mean by that is they play ugly, they play frustrating, but they can get wins. And something just tells me that New England could, and emphasis on could, be a team like that. Because the one thing everyone can agree on is this is going to be a better team than last season. You got a way better coach in Mike Vrabel over Gerard Mayo, because Gerard Mayo just wasn't qualified, and it became very clear that the Patriots made a mistake making him the head coach and probably should have just made Vrabel the head coach last season. But looking everywhere else, Josh McDaniels is the definition of should never be a head coach, but you know what? He still knows how to be a play caller, and he'll probably be a better play caller than what New England had last season. Because hey, he made Mac Jones look like an okay quarterback, so he can still do that. The problems with New England are still on offense, though, because I mean, Drake May, and if I'm being honest, I feel like some people need to pump the brakes with Drake May. I hope I'm not the only one who feels that way, because I feel like there's been a lot of people that are already trying to crown Drake May as, he's already going to be a superstar. And it's like, I think people need to pump the brakes with that, especially considering that the wide receiver room isn't the best. I mean, Stephon Diggs, you know what you're going to get, but considering he's getting older and he also kind of has an ego problem at times, that's not someone you want to really be your wide receiver one. I mean, there's other guys here like Demario Douglas or Tayshaun. God, I can't say his last name. I have trouble pronouncing his last name. He's the wide receiver they took from LSU couple years ago. Tayshaun, I can't say his last name, but
I'm looking
guys
it
like
up,
that,
I'm looking
guys
it up.
yeah, you can say it for him. But
I'm-
while that's happening, they also have Hunter Henry, who seems to just be a guy that goes out there, gets some yards, and calls it a day. But you know what? He does a really good job at that. I do think New England's strength is definitely on defense, because they do have a strong secondary, especially led with Christian Gonzalez, and you got you signed Carlton Davis, which is a really good signing. I think the defensive signings that they did this season were very good. I love the Milton Williams signing. I really like the Robert Spillane signing, or getting Robert Spillane for your linebacker core, because having watched so many Raiders games, I would argue he was their second best player on defense behind Max Crosby last season. He is a very good addition, and I think he'll do very well in the Mike Vrabel defense. And you got other guys like Christian Ellis, and I'm pretty sure they also have Harold Landry. I'm pretty sure they also have they have him now. So New England, here's the thing. I think this Patriots defense could be really good. And the reason I say that is we already know they have a strong secondary, but the biggest problem with their defense last season was their pass rush was the worst in football. It was a horrible pass rush. And no matter how good Christian Gonzalez was, or Jabril Peppers when he wasn't being a fucking dumbass, no matter how good they could be, they weren't going to get anywhere as long as that front seven was horrible. But I feel like they've really done great work to fix their front seven. And I think this Patriots defense is going to be really good, much better than last season, and it has high potential. It's just everywhere on the offense really is going to hold them back, because I have faith in Drake May, but it's just there's so many holes in the O-line still, even with Will Campbell. And the wide receiver core has so many questions. By the way, Spencer, you were about to say something?
Yeah, I looked it up, and it's pronounced Kayshon Boutte.
Boutte, okay. I had a feeling that's what it was, but I didn't want to mess it up. But good to know. It's just there's a lot of questions on offense, but I think the reason why I am not sleeping on New England is because, number one, the AFC outside of 6 teams is really, really not great. And the other thing is I look at New England's schedule and I'm sitting here like, I'm just looking at their schedule and I'm just sitting here like, this team might genuinely bullshit their way to a playoff appearance. And I'm not kidding when I say that. I want you to look at the schedule. So and yeah, I know I promised we weren't gonna be doing what we did last week, but like, you know what, fuck it. I think for the context here, the schedule matters. Because week 1, they play the Raiders, which that's a winnable game, but I can also see the Raiders very much winning that game because Josh McDaniels' revenge game is it's definitely undermines. Miami week 2, they're not winning that game. They never win in Miami. Pittsburgh week 3, they'll probably win that game because Pittsburgh can never win against New England. Carolina, that's a winnable game. Buffalo, you're not winning that game, especially at Buffalo. New Orleans, that's a winnable game. Tennessee, that's definitely a winnable game, especially with Vrabel having revenge on mind, or Vrabel having revenge on his mind. Cleveland's a winnable game. Atlanta, yeah, it's a winnable game. The Falcons will always play a close game. That's always going to be winnable. Tampa Bay, they won't win. Jets, definitely winnable. Cincy, I mean, they beat them last season, but that was the week 1 Bengals, so I really don't know for that one. The Giants, which for some reasons on Monday Night Football, that's a winnable game. The Bills, probably not. They won't beat Buffalo or Baltimore. And even on the road, I think the Jets could be very annoying for them on the road. But their final game against Miami, that's a very winnable game. It's just, I look at the Patriots' schedule, and I said what I said, but this is this type of schedule where a team that really is going to overperform would really overperform. And I can just see the Patriots being a team that really overperforms where they really should be. And with how the AFC just can be very, very stupid at times, because we said they're top heavy, but a lot of teams in that conference are really bad. I don't know. Something just tells me that New England's gonna annoy a lot of people this season.
I don't. I get where you're coming from, and schedules, and I get the schedule and everything. I think that's more. I think honestly, I feel more about how you feel about the Patriots towards the Jets. I feel like the Jets are the more stable team than the Patriots are.
I disagree. I'm sorry. I'm not stable, and the Jets do not belong in the same sentence. I'm sorry. They do not belong in the same sentence. I like what the Jets did, as I highlighted in my preview, as we highlighted, but they're not there yet. And stability is something the Jets are going to have to earn. And I feel like some of y'all are really sleeping on the Patriots. Like the additions they made on defense, I think are great additions. And the fact of the matter is, improving a pass rush with a secondary that's already been pretty good, improving a pass rush that was the worst in football, and doing a lot for it. I really like what they did there. And it's just like, I'm not gonna sleep on this team. Like, I don't want them to do well. They're the fucking Patriots we're talking about, but I'm not sleeping on them. And the fact is, it's like I just feel like the top 6 teams in the AFC, and you can put them in any order, but the top 6 teams are, Chiefs, Ravens, Bills, Texans. By the way, when I mean this, I mean like in terms of playoff seeds. Texans, because God knows someone's going to win the South, and then you have the Chargers and the Broncos. Who the hell's going to be the 7th seed? Because the 7th seed is wide open. Because you just look at all of these teams, and we can look at all of them if we want to in terms of the AFC. The Jets are still finding their footing. The Dolphins can never be consistent, and they're going to shoot themselves in the foot. The Browns are the Browns. The Bengals have no idea what a defense is. The Steelers will be 9-8. The Colts don't have any clue what a quarterback is. The Jaguars need another year. The Titans have Brian Callahan. And the Raiders, I still think, need another year. I'm just saying, the path is there. And I feel like I'm not going to be I'm not going to be here when New England is winning an easy-ass schedule and people are pissed off as to why the Patriots are winning again. I'm not going to be that guy because I'm preparing myself for that scenario.
I think my thing at the it's one of those things where like I have to be, and me it's just or coaching. I mean, I like what Mike Vrabel did in Tennessee. If this was any other team, I'd be like, yo, Mike Vrabel being the head coach, slam dunk hire. But since it's New England, it feels like their utter refusal to go outside the organization to bring bring other talented people in. And it screams that this team really still trying to leap off of the Belichick era when it's time to move on, and I don't think it's there yet. So for me right now, it's hard for me. Sure, they got lots of talent, but what I would like to see from them is an ability to win, an ability to show that they can be more than kids running this show. We need to step away from letting the kids run the restaurant and bring some people who know what they're doing. That's just how I see the Patriots right now. That's great. You dressed your O-line in the draft. Wonderful. They've done moves to bring the defense. They got like the defense and Mike Vrabel in. That's great. They bring in Stephon Diggs. I think they got a lot of receiving last year's draft too. Forget about that. For sure. But I really feel like they're trying to stay honed in on the Patriot way, and it's just not gonna work. I want a new Patriots form to emerge. Because if you're trying to still live on the Patriot way, and we see other teams try to do it, it's never worked. And that's the one thing that is holding back the New England Patriots. I don't think they're trying to do the things the Patriot way when they look at things from a different
Different what?
different angle.
Sorry, your mic is like cutting out bad.
Oh.
It just cut out once. It's fine.
good.
So if I may offer, like, I'm not sure how popular or unpopular this is gonna be, but like, holy crap, I am not at all sold on the Patriots because for one, they're I took a look at their supposedly new and improved offensive line, and holy shit, why is Garrett Bradbury here? Like, as a Vikings fan, that gives me quite a bit of pause. And, you know, he was not great at all, and there's a reason we shelled out for Ryan Kelly, and other than that, am I supposed to be excited about Cole Strange? Like, yeah, you addressed the tackles, but you know, your interior O line is still like a huge question mark. And secondly, this might get you guys a little bit mad. I think Mike Vrabel's overrated. I think, you know, he might have been okay in Tennessee, but I still attribute most of his success to the fact that he was riding the coattails of a white hot Derrick Henry in 2019, and I didn't see his defense did what they had to, but it didn't really stick out to me as the big thing so much as it was, Derrick Henry was like on a 2012 Adrian Peterson level tear.
And I will say this at the very least, I think this. Listen, I can respect the take, and I will also say this: I guarantee it will not be the. It will go better than the last time you called someone overrated on a coaching staff. I can guarantee this will go better for you. But I do want to say regarding Mike Vrabel. Here's the thing. I think Vrabel is a good coach. I don't think he's a great coach, but he's a good coach, and he's definitely an upgrade over Gerard Mayo. But I also understand that there was a reason why the Titans let go of him because, like, 2022, the Titans collapsed. And the following season, 2023, they were bad. Now, granted, I don't think you could have hired Ryan Callahan being a potential. Well, let's not lie, Brian Callahan's awful, and that should not have been your Mike Vrabel replacement. But at the same time, I get why Vrabel ended up wearing out his welcome in Nashville. It's just,
Mhm.
I still think Vrabel is a good coach,
Well,
and I
yeah,
think
he
he's
wore out his
probably
welcome, but like as we mentioned before, the real reason he lost his job was because of the powers. I don't think
Right.
he
that
would. I
too.
don't think he would have been.
Yeah, that too, and that says a lot more about how the Tennessee Titans are just a complete and utter shit show. But I do think I do have faith in Vrabel doing well here because as I've seen with like the Gerard Mayo stuff, it felt like they wanted to give Mayo a chance, and then they saw very early on that this was not going to work and that he was very unqualified to be a head coach. And it felt more like giving Vrabel the shot was more like, we probably should have just made you the head coach last season because let's be real, we really just, Gerard Mayo didn't work. And Vrabel I think is good, but I think a lot of it will come down to how Josh McDaniels does with Drake May. Because with how the O line is, McDaniels is gonna have to really call his best plays to get Drake May out of those situations, which I think he can, but all I know is New England's offense, even for as much as I said, people are kind of sleeping on the Patriots, for as much as I said that, the offense is going to hold them back, and that is something that they are really going to have to address after this season.
I that's why I think it's good that they got Hunter Henry and Austin Hooper back because when the Vikings were having issues with their inside O line, like big issues, one of the things that really helped Cousins out in 2019 was running a lot of two tight end sets. So he had time to work in that pocket, even though the inside had the pass protection of, a slightly damp paper towel.
Yeah. Also worth noting, look at the receiving core. Also, they have Matt Collins. Matt Collins. Who else do they have in this core?
Now let's take a look
Jalen
at.
Polk. Remember Jalen Polk?
Oh man, he's
Yeah.
got the giant W hat in his Wikipedia picture.
And Washington legend.
You.
What are some? I love looking. I regret not having been able to join these before, or at least because one of my favorite parts of doing this is playing Remember Some Guys. Like the fact that Doug Marrone is here as the offensive line coach.
Um,
And
I
hey,
guess I
there's
haven't really talked much about the Patriots. I did have one or two things to say real quick. I still think this team is just like a couple years away, but I think the biggest thing for the season, if Drake May looks like a decent to solid quarterback, I think this season, no matter what they do, is a success. All they just want is quarterback progression.
That is,
Yeah, that's
they just
true.
want to press through. But like, I want to see a new identity starting to
Oh, the Patriots are. I'm sorry, the Patriots are fucked. Their outside linebackers coach is Mike Smith, who also was the linebackers coach for the Green Bay Packers 2019 to 2021. And Ben McAdoo is here, switching from offensive assistant to defensive assistant.
Oh, and by the way, Thomas Brown is here too. If anyone's wondering what happened to him.
Huh.
Hey kids, remember Todd Downing? He's here as a wide receivers coach.
Oh my. Oh, you know what? If you're
Yeah, I think it's probably time to get to like floors and ceilings, but before that, I will praise New England for one more thing. They selected an Ohio State running back that doesn't beat woman. Good for them.
True.
Is this a trend?
No.
I didn't
But,
realize Ohio State beating women was a trend.
Or at least
I
Ohio
know
State
where-
players getting drafted by the Browns.
Of course, it's the Browns. Yeah, you know what? That's fair. It's not Ohio State with a trend. It's Cleveland.
Yeah, it's Cleveland.
Floor for the Patriots. 2 wins. Ceiling. Maybe 9.
I don't see them having a winning record in any case. Floor 3, ceiling 7.
upward.
I also give them the dubious of one of the teams that could potentially result in a tie.
Ooh, fair enough.
Ooh.
I don't believe this team. I think unless I see a new identity being formed that's not the Patriot way, unless I start to see a new identity emerging from this team, I'm gonna see 4 is like 4, and then I gotta give me something to like latch onto here, and I don't think the Patriots are gonna do.
Floor,
I-
3. Ceiling, 7 wins, and but the media will look at them as hard luck people and will continue to circle jerk about how the Patriots play with heart.
I'm gonna go with my floor will be 5. I think they'll be better than last year. That's not up for debate. I think they'll definitely be better than last year. But you know what? I guess this is the closest thing I have to a hot take. This is the closest thing I'll ever have to a hot take. But you know what? Ceiling, I guess I'll go with like 11. I'll go with 11. I'll be the
Okay.
someone has to buy into them. Someone has to buy into them in this group. I'll be the guy. I'll take the sacrifice.
I was gonna say, I thought for a moment you were gonna say someone has to be the Taegan this episode, and I was gonna be like, "What the fuck, man? That would have been fucked up."
If I wanted to be Taegan, I'd say they have a better record than the Bills, and I know that's not happening. I'm not that.
I would
I'm
never
not
say
that.
that.
I'm not that desperate for engagement.
I wouldn't say that. Me 2 years ago would. Me now wouldn't.
You know what?
But,
You're absolutely right, Taegan. You're absolutely right. Yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching today.
Next week's the AFC North.
Yeah, I got
AFC North, yeah, baby.
Yeah,
Home-
Pittsburgh
by the way-
Steelers.
Home to 9-7's home to 9-8.
home to the annual March of the Yinzer.
Also,
Steelers
we're not
down
doing
to
a
9-8.
we're not doing the podcast tomorrow. We're changing it up. We're having it changed. Instead of the 8th, We're doing it on instead of doing it tomorrow, we're going to be doing it on the 17th. And guess what? We're bringing back Draw Play Dave for the NFC East on the 17th. So now that we got that all out, I'm just going to fucking rapid fire the rest of these divisions, man. So next week, we have the AFC North. The week after that, we have the NFC West. Then the 17th, we have the NFC East, and then for the last one, it will be the North.
Because, damn it, we love the North here. We're real North heads.
The AFC North, just to kind of spoil it real quick, might be the most interesting division in the entire league. For all of the
Oh yeah.
Yeah, one
By
team
the
that's
way,
complacent with 9-8, another that's complacent with basically being the prison team, another that's content with with completely wasting generational hero, and then the normal team.
who's which? You'll have to find out next week. Thank you guys so much for watching the Untitled Sickos Project. Like, comment, and subscribe, or I will blow Luke's brains out. And
But then we'll have nobody to talk with.
we can make a clone.
We're actually gonna replace him with ReactBot after we
Why
kill him.
me with ReactBot?
Also, the Rockies are creeping back.
Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll
Take
see
care,
you next
guys.
time. Who knows?
Take
There
care.
might be some
Bye.
watch-alongs at some point. Anyways, watch the newest video. I
Bye.
think he cooked.